Hey TV Junkers. So
that was just crazy how you said it.
So we are recapping Teen Mom. Oh no, 16 and Pregnant. 16 and Pregnant.
Tonight's episode was Arianna, right?
Yeah, Arianna.
And it was a pretty good episode, actually. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was. It was the best episode this season so far.
It definitely had one of the best quotes, I think, of any episode of 16 Pregnant, Teen Mom. Like, it was right up there with Janelle talking about she had to go to that Kesha concert. Like, honestly, it was priceless. So, let's just start off with Arianna gets pregnant by this guy that she's been friends with for a while, but they had only been dating for like a month or so before she got pregnant. And she's just pretty much displeased with him because she feels like he isn't stepping up to the plate to be a father while she's pregnant. Meanwhile, you know, we see him, whose name, I don't know, you remember his name? But anyway, we see him talking with his mom and his grandma, and the mom is basically like, well, you need to get yourself together, you got a son on the way. And he was like, and she was basically like, you need to get a job. And he was like, well, I'm working on my mixtape. That was the best line ever, hands down.
And he was just so like
dead serious.
Right, like, I'm working on my mixtape.
Somebody talking to you about a baby, but I'm working on my mixtape though. Like, I would have been done at that point. I would have had to excuse myself from the room, like, for real. But anyway, as her pregnancy progresses, they pretty much are not seeing eye to eye at all, and they try to have a sit down. And it does not go well at all. Basically, she's saying, you know, you need to step up. I need things for the baby. I need you to, you know, provide. And he's like, well, I'm having a baby shower. They having a shower for me at my house. And we still trying to figure out.
Right, like, how you
having a baby shower and the mother is not there. The baby, the pregnant lady is not there.
Right, they just gonna.
She didn't even know about it. He's like telling her about it, like, oh, by the way, I'm having a baby shower in my house. Like Danielle said, like, what are they just coming to his house, dropping off a gift?
Right.
Like, what?
They gonna drop off a gift and they'll leave.
Like, it just seemed weird. But anyway, he was like, and I got all kind of stuff for the baby at my house. And she was like, okay, well, don't you think it needs to be at my house? He was like, yeah, well, you know, I'll bring it to you when I feel like the time is right. And she was like, no, the time is right now. I need to be prepared. Which, you know, I can understand, like, pregnant women go through like a nesting phase where they feel like everything needs to be put in place before the baby comes, and he probably didn't understand that because he's not a woman. Guy,
and her hormones are jumping off like cray cray.
But he kept basically saying, don't worry about it, everything will be cool by the time the baby comes. And I honestly didn't believe anything that he was saying.
I didn't either, because that's what they always do on Teen Mom. I mean, how do I keep on calling it Teen Mom? On 16 and Pregnant, they always say, yeah, I'm gonna help out, you know, when the baby comes, blah 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 blah.
And so she goes into labor and she calls him up to the hospital, and he ends up being like very supportive of her, and she even says, you know, I'm really happy you were here or whatever. And then they get into this ridiculous argument the day after the baby is born, and she's basically like, well, first of all, he says, well, what made you even call me? Which was a ridiculous question.
I'm like, what?
It's your child. But anyway,
baby.
he seemed a little on the slow side at first, I'm going to be honest. But anyway, so, they get into the argument, and she was like, well, you were here today, but you wasn't there for me through my whole pregnancy, and you were just a disappointment, and you weren't there for me, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, okay, that's old news. Doesn't matter. That's irrelevant at this point. You know, I was here for you now. The baby's here. You know, I'm going to be here from now on. You know, whatever. And she was like, well, what do you mean? That's not, you know, I need an apology. And he was like, well, you know, just squash it. That's one of the bridge. She put him out of the hotel room. She was like, get out. Don't touch my baby. Leave. Get out. I don't want to see you no more. Don't come back. Blah, blah, blah. Which was a total overreaction. It was just crazy. So then she's basically telling her mom and her grandma, which was also weird. She didn't like her mother's husband. So she was living with her grandmother in like this one bedroom apartment. Weird, you know, I understand, you know, if you have limited space, that's fine. But you would think she would get a futon or something. It was just weird. She was sleeping with her grandma, so. But I guess to each his own. I kind of felt sorry for the grandma once the baby got there, because the baby's like crying and the baby's in the bed. She's rocking the bed and the poor grandma got to be up too. Like
you know what they say.
The grandma didn't get her pregnant. She shouldn't have to go through that. But anyway.
Three's company too.
So lo and behold, the baby's father steps up. He gets a job. He's constantly bringing things for the baby.
He was really such a sweet guy. Once that baby came, it was just like, wow.
I
don't think I have ever.
I mean, a 180. He did a total 180.
I don't think I've ever seen any guy on Teen
change
Mom
that much.
Step up as much as he did. Teen Mom, why they keep calling it Teen Mom? 16 and pregnant.
And the craziest part about it was she still kept trying to argue with him over this stuff that happened while she was pregnant. Like he you know, took her out to dinner. He brought her a gift, and then he brought some things for the baby.
I think he gave her like a cake or something.
And then he was like, you know, I just want you to know that I've been working my butt off so I can save money for the baby, you know, and I just want to get to the point where I can have time to spend with you and the baby, and I just want to give you a break, you know. I want you to be able to get some sleep and focus on school and just have a break. And she was like, yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but what about when I was pregnant?
Right,
and you wasn't there for me? And he was like, are you for real? Like, honestly, let's not talk about that. She was like, well, you wasn't stepping up to be a man. He was like, I am a man, I've been a man, blah, blah, blah. When she was being a man. Because to be honest, the whole time that she was pregnant, all he was saying was, when the baby gets here, it's going to be all right. I'm going to be there for my baby. I'm going to be there for you. He kept saying that, and then when the baby came, he was. So it's not like she was pregnant. He was like, F you, I don't want to be there for the baby. That's not, well, he did ask for a paternity test. But, I mean, that's not unreasonable. They're teenagers, and they had only been together for like a month. I mean, honestly, I would probably be offended if I was the pregnant one, but still, that wasn't unreasonable. But anyway, she just kept going on and on. So finally, he just apologized, even though you could tell he really didn't want to. And
I guess he was like, she ain't gonna let this go. Let me just.
And even after he apologized and she forgave him, even her little monologue at the end, she was still talking about it. She was like, because he just wasn't, he got to party and have a good time for 9 months. My question is, no matter what he does, he can't be pregnant for you. Like, y'all don't live together, you're not married. Was he just supposed to sit at your house and look at you be pregnant for 9 months? Like, don't get me wrong, you know, obviously he probably should have been more emotionally supportive to her. He's a teenage boy, like, and he literally stepped up and was acting very adult and there for his child when the child was there. So her behavior was just bizarre. And she was still hard. And she was like, but I guess I'll just have to get over it and try to be a family. But I'm still upset about it. It was just really stupid.
It's probably her hormones probably still acting up. That's what I think.
Well, you know, some people just really hold grudges and can't let stuff go.
True.
So, but all in all, it was a good episode. And the baby was adorable.
Oh, the baby was so freaking cute.
Which,
so
he was on the fence for a little while, so. But anyway.
What?
The baby was on the fence. The baby came out looking real interesting. Just to be honest. No. Baby came out holding a mixtape. But anyway, that is the episode in a gist. So we'll see you next week with the next episode. See you guys then.